bonjour. Merci d'être avec nous pour cette présentation sur le marché d'édition à Taïwan. We are in Taipei, Taiwan now. My name is Chen. I am a cultural industry officer at the Canadian Trade Office in Taipei. Nice to meeting you all from Canada. I'm honored to have Mr. Robert Lin, the chairman of the Taipei Book Fair Foundation, and also the general manager of Children's Publications in Taiwan. Hello, Chairman Lin.
Hi, everybody.
Could you please give us a short self-introduction?
Okay, I'm actually the chairman of Children's Publication and also now act as the Taipei Book Fair Foundation. And so in the past, actually, I have been in publication industry for more than 40 years.
40 years,
but
wow.
For the last 20 years, I am emphasized more in children publication.
Children, okay.
And maybe to all you were surprised that actually children publication is already in Taiwan is already modern and diversified and also internationalized.
Oh.
You know, 3 years ago, we published a Netherlands children books which called King and King.
Okay.
It's about a LGBTQ, which means the general equality. Equality. And now have a very good news coverage because there's an argument or discussion about whether the public library should open for the little children to exposure to this kind of homosexual picture books.
Yeah, I remember that. Yes.
Yeah, and I think it's great that the government or the culture ministry and also most of people, they will support this. So we actually are quite, in terms of general sector or home sectors, this is a new generation.
Right.
And we will try to bring in all the new modern information to all new generation. And that's mostly come in the children publications.
Wow,
and also
very interesting.
Picture books is very popular now. So I think maybe Canada also have this kind of books. And
yes.
I think for past 3 years, more than 40 titles regarding this home gender equality.
Gender equality, yes.
Equality publications. So I will expect some titles will come from Canada.
Definitely.
And so it's your opportunity to come and maybe we will take some from you.
Yeah, I hope so. Thank you, Mr. Lin. I wanted to start with the introduction of our office. Our office represents Canada in Taiwan. We are staffed with Canadian government employees. We have 3 main sections, a big trade and investment section, political, economic, and the public affairs section, administration, and the consular services section. We also have one Alberta office in our office. We used to have one Quebec office in the office, but it's closed back in 2014. As Mr. Lin just mentioned, Taiwan is a very special place. So by size, it's not that big, but it's very open and very democratic. Interested in a lot of different topics and definitely has a hunger of learning about the world. I wanted to also mention again, Taiwan is the first jurisdiction in Asia to legalize the same-sex marriage. It happened last year. So definitely we wanted to have a different type of books presented here. So once again, not only Mr. Lin, our office now in Taipei, also wanted to see more Canadian publishers here in Taiwan.
That's right, yeah.
So let's get started with our presentation now. Okay, so let's get started with our presentation on book market in Taiwan. And later on, Mr. Lin will talk about the Taipei International Book Fair with us. where is Taiwan? Taiwan is in Asia, and it's an island, similar than Vancouver Island, size-wise, a little bit bigger, but with a lot more people, 23.6 million people in Taiwan. So it's very crowded and very animated. We have some numbers here. Taiwan is a progressive democracy, free and vibrant place with a lot of cultural activities. Taiwan is also the first jurisdiction in Asia to legalize same-sex marriage in 2019 May, so that made us very, very special. Taiwan is a paradise for book lovers. It has a lot of bookstore, including one 24-hour bookstore and one French specialized bookstore in Taipei. We are interested in different topics and genres for books. And we also have Asia's most fantastic book event, which is Taipei International Book Exposition. Here are some numbers on Taiwan's book market. We have here publishing houses in Taiwan last year had a number 4,952, which is a lot considering the size of Taiwan is not that big. I wanted to ask Chairman Lin, has this number changed since the breakout of COVID-19?
Hi, everybody. Good morning. I think because this year, 2020, because of the COVID-19, so the industry has been changed a little bit. But to some extent, I would say maybe have about 5% decrease in terms of publishing house.
5,
yeah.
Okay.
And the bookstore also have been a lot of effect because of, people were afraid to go to the store.
Oh, yes.
So the store might close, I think, more than 10%, especially the largest is Light. Mm-hmm. They are the major bookstore in Taiwan, and also they have a 24 hours bookstore. However, they closed this year. I think more than 12 new bookstores being closed. But they are now emphasized that in the second half of this year, they might increase the new store, which is smaller than in the past, always the big and multifunctional bookstore. So that's the changes.
Oh, okay. So bigger stores closed, but more little ones will be opened.
That's right, because I think this is a trend worldwide. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Okay, great to know. So a little bit decrease of the publishing houses in Taiwan, about 5% since the COVID-19.
That's right, yes.
Okay, so but we, do you think this number will be catch up in the future soon?
I hope so, but actually in Taiwan, 5,000 publishing house is in terms of numbers versus the population is quite a big number. Okay. So I think some few small publishing house, they might only publishing 10 or 20 new titles per year. So the numbers, I think, major publishing house still not changed much.
Okay.
But so also another integrate is that the number of the new title which we published. And this year, up to now, as I know, maybe slowed down a little bit. In the past, about 40,000 new titles have been published. Okay. However, this year, I think, as the report from the government saying that they might have about 20% decrease in terms of the number of the new titles.
Okay, so far until now.
Yes.
All right, but the market still very healthy.
Where, the physical bookstore, they really a big effect. But so overall, to my knowledge, it's about 20% decrease in terms of the business turnover. However, the online business increased about 30%. So end up it's about 10% decrease in total.
Okay. Yeah. So we have here average price of books. One book is about $13 in Taiwan.
That's right. I think the picture books will be a little bit higher. And in terms of the average price of books, I think if it started 13, it's quite small, low to some extent. Taiwan, all the new books published, the hardcover and very good design, and also very internationalized. So I think overall Taiwan, the book price I think it's very normal and very acceptable.
Yes, it's a very interesting market. The books, we have a lot of choice from different genres. And also the price is not that high, so it's that's why Taiwanese love to read.
Yes. Yeah.
Very good. So we have here the top 5 genres published. Also, we have children's books, applied science, art, social studies, and the number 1 is literature. Can you talk about more these top 5 genres? Why are they popular here?
I think the local literatures, in terms of, I think about 20% is local produced, and the other might also import from the international bestsellers list.
Oh, that's a lot.
Yeah, from UK or US or other like Japan. So Taiwan is actually very international and it's open. So most of the readers, they will try to acquire new knowledge or new trend worldwide from different countries, especially like US, Canada, or European, or like Japan or Korea. It's quite people, young people especially, and they will enjoy reading the public bestseller literature titles. Yeah.
Oh, interesting.
And regarding the social studies, I think because now, as this year, there's COVID-19, and so people will try to know what happened worldwide or outside of Taiwan. So we are anxious. And most of people are anxious to know that what is happening in the outside and what kind of new study come out. So the books is a major sources for people to know this happening. And for arts, I think these architectures or the international new fashion, and young people also still quite, I think major readers is about from age of 25 to 40s. Okay. That's the major readers. And for the Africans science, I think that's where we hold student in university or high school. And Taiwan actually it's a high-tech oriented country. So all the new technology like 5G was 5G, anything happening, and so people would like to know how to learn new technology development, and also to try to learn something from other countries. Right. And Taiwan also by itself, we have a new developed or new research come out, so people will try to acquire this knowledge. And for the children bookstore books, and I'm the children publisher, so I know much better about children books. And I think picture books, we have about 30% is local artists or local author, and the rest will come from abroad. Again, major sources will be from UK, US, and some from Canada also.
Canada.
In terms of percentage, we're being fewer. Okay. So I expect that in future, Canada should be able to come to Taiwan and to get yourself. And if Taiwan actually is very open and they are very interested to know everything outside of Taiwan. And I think Canada, the Canadian publisher should come more time or by yourself and to visit Taiwan to experience it by yourself. And you will see that the children's books actually the biggest growth section from the publication industry. So I think new picture books, the major section for the children's books being imported and also local produced.
Okay, very, very interesting.
Yeah.
So we have here the best-selling genres in new titles. We talk about literature, some business, finance, self-help, lifestyle, and of course children's books and the YA.
Young adult.
Right, for youth, right?
Yes.
So what kind of a new genre Canadian publishers can consider to sell in Taiwan?
Okay, in fact, that children's books, I think in the past, I've been visit Browning a children's book fair in the past. I always go in the whole 29, and which the Canadian publisher booth is all stand there.
29, okay.
Yeah. And to my impression that I remember there's the two Kens and also the Pegasus. These two major Canadian publishers. The rest, I would say that it's all international giants like Random House, the Penguins. And so I would expect Canadian friends from the publishing industry should have more unique Canadian publication by itself. And otherwise, most of Taiwan publishers, if they are looking for the international publication, they will naturally go to the headquarters like from UK or US. So they will not think that they will prefer to go to the headquarters instead of go to the Canadian International House.
Right.
So I think Canadian publishers have your unique and also specialty in terms of children's books or young adult titles. And also lifestyle, to my knowledge, also quite a lot of Chinese, overseas Chinese, they staying in Vancouver or Canada, the other cities.
Yes.
So I think it's a major overseas Chinese staying in Canada. So I would assume that's a big potential readers among Taiwan and Canada. So I would say there is a common factors which will affect and will improve our cooperation in the future. I think because the people will enjoy the same interest or the new trend or the publications.
Yes.
So I will invite all Canadian publishers come more often to Taipei and to participate in Taipei International Book Exhibition by yourself. So you will experience what a wonderful business and also a good friendship.
Yes, I think that's important to be here in Taipei to make a connection for Canadian publishers who wanted to develop the market. But per se, we want more Canadian style, Canadian content.
Specialties.
Right, specialty. So people in Taiwan are curious to learn more about Canada. Canada has this French and English culture. Canada is has a diversity of different things and values. So I think Taiwanese people wanted to know more about that. And that's a good point for sell more books from Canada to Taiwan. So we have some numbers here in terms of publications translated from other languages. About 26% of new titles last year are translated. We have in Taiwan, the trading partners, top 3 are Japan, US, and the UK. So that is a lot of translation, right?
Yes.
From overseas. So Japan translated from Japanese, English, right,
yes.
are the 2 most translated languages here.
Yes.
So Taiwan use traditional Chinese, and we know that Canada also sells some book here, but we are not yet the top 3 trading partners here.
Yeah, I think, Japan is quite close in terms of geography to Taiwan. But to some extent, my impression is that Korean became bigger than Japan.
Oh, Korea,
because Korean, they have, the new movies and TV program, BTS, the young singers.
Right,
so
very
they
popular.
were, Taiwan is, as said earlier, that we are very open to the international market. So, and young people especially, they are quite spend their time and attention paid to like Japan or US or UK. I think also we have so many friends or relatives, they are staying in Canada. And we would like to know what their kids or the relative, what they are reading or what they have in Canada, the new publication. And I think that's a lot of potential opportunity for Canadian publishers to try to introduce your unique publication to Taiwan readers. Yeah.
Sounds good.
Yeah.
So now we are going to talk about more in detail this great event in Taipei, the Taipei International Book Exposition. So we have every February. It's usually during the Lunar New Year in Taiwan.
Before or after.
Yeah. Right. So it's a big holiday for all the people in Taiwan, including students and the families. So we got this great event happening in Taipei. Every year it attracts a lot of people. It is organized by the Ministry of Culture here, and of course the co-organizer is Taipei Book Fair Foundation. So Mr. Lin is the chairman this year.
Yes, 3 years.
3 years terms. Okay, so the venue is in Taipei World Trade Center, a very big space. And it's a pretty international, I would say, right?
Yes. And Taipei actually is, I think the earliest in this year is already 33 years old. And in terms of edition is 29 for next year, 2021. So I will invite all the Canadian publishers to participate next year I think in January, the end of last week or the January.
Right. I remember last year the main thing was Germany.
Yes, the guest on honor is Germany. So they are bringing more than 30 authors or the artists to come to participate. And the local people, especially the readers, they are enjoy very much to learn like a seminar or they have a discussion, open discussion, or give a presentation.
Yes, and it's so, very
it's more than 1,000 events during this fair period. And a lot of people, one day maybe have more than 150,000 people participate.
That's a lot.
And all together, it's more than about 500,000 people invest in this book fair.
Yes.
And so we have so many international people, but I expect that the Canadian friends should come more and often to, participate and to know each other. I think you will enjoy good business like right there. Was actually Taiwan also buy it out of original English titles, and they can sell. I think we import quite a lot of children picture books originally in English. So that's also another trade sales.
Yes.
And in addition to the right sales, I think you can do both. And so that's a quite big opportunity to do a big sales.
Yeah. So we can, of course, do business. We can promote. We can interact and have some discussions with the people from all over the world, and especially from Taiwan.
That's right. Taipei Book Fair Foundation, we also given our free ticket and also some transportation cost supposed to invite the children or teachers, the class or the literature school. They come bring by the teacher all together. So there are about more than 1,000 schools.
Yes.
They will bring the classes students and to participate and buy their own books, use their pocket money. Yes. So that's become a very good opportunity to sell individual titles, or the classroom they will buy a special titles English in terms of English or translate titles, and they were used in the classroom.
Wow.
So I think also that's a very good business.
It's very attractive. Yes. So we have, I think, we have one picture about a Canadian booth. So in the middle down there. we always have a great pleasure to be in a part of this great event. So every year since 2018, our office always hosts a booth there.
Yes.
Yeah. So we witness how vibrant and interesting this event has to offer. So we were at the 2018, 2019, and unfortunately, 2020 is not happening because of the COVID-19.
That's right.
So the guest of honor this year is Korea.
Korea. So they also continue to do as a guest of honor in next year, 2021.
Right.
So I hope maybe Canada can be a 2022 guest of honor.
Wow.
And that will be a good opportunity. Most of the people, they will pay very high attention to the guest of honor because they will bring in quite many activity books and all the information.
Yes.
And people, I think here in Taiwan, they are quite interested because the Canada, to our image, is that you have a very good nature, fishing, and the nature or landscape. So beautiful. So people will go try to know more about Canada, and also the publication by Canadian publishers.
So I see from this page of presentation, there is Israel, Japan, Germany, and Canada, and Thailand.
Yes.
So it's very, very diverse. Taiwanese people really wanted to learn about the world.
Yes.
So it's a very open environment, right?
Yes.
Oh, now we see the number of visitors last year.
Yes.
So we have a lot.
Yeah, closing to 600,000 people visit. And I think every day, as long as you have a new activity, or people were quite active to participate and to visit. Some of them maybe every day they will come and to see what the new happening, and they were very interested to know the foreign authors or artists.
Yes.
So usually very crowded, and you might need to pre-book. Otherwise, you might don't have a chance to look or to participate yourself. So I will expect that more artists or the author came from Canada.
Yes.
And so we can really have a actual intercountry or some kind of participation together. Yeah.
So we have, in the end, 52 countries from all over the world with over 700 exhibitors. And a lot of events, a lot of meetings.
That's right.
Of course, the school visitors are huge. And it's really animated. I think it's a very efficient event to get into Taiwan publishing market, right?
Yeah, every year we prepare our different themes and activity program, and also the guests of honor country. Usually, they also have a very unique presentation or the books. So people were very high expected what were happening in the next year or this like 2021 or 2022, and I think people still have a more interest after this epidemics.
Yes, I hope everything will get back to normal, and we will have more Canadian publishers in Taiwan for promoting their books, or even better, to participate in Taipei International Book Exposition. So thank you very much, Mr. Lin, to be here with us today. We have learned a lot, and if you have any question from Canada, please feel welcome to write to me, chloe.chen@international.gc.ca, or if you have a specific question about the Taipei International Book Exposition, we have Michelle and Cecilia that can help you to answer your questions. So merci, thank you again.
Yeah, thank you, and hope see you next year. And thank you for
Chloe, thank you.
Yeah, thank you very much.